You have found Vagina Whispering, where we talk about everything from vaginas and orgasms to femininity, connection and love, intimacy, pleasure, intuition, menopause, and so much more. This is a safe place to have real conversations and make real connections. We're going to have a great time. We're going to laugh a lot, and we are going to fall in love with ourselves again. A quick note before we begin, the information we present here is educational in nature and is not medical or psychological advice, nor is it a substitute for seeking licensed healthcare services. Okay, let's drop you into the conversation.
Hello.
How's your back, Beth?
Actually, it's a little bit tweaky today, but at the end of yesterday, I'm super careful and not doing very much of anything, but I had no pain by the end of yesterday. And
Wow.
I've been doing all kinds of, a friend came over, gave me a very deep massage who is very familiar with back pain. I saw my chiropractor for all kinds of treatments and doing stuff myself and icing and lotions and magnesium cream, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You fuck it up, you that much pain to bounce back, it takes a bit, but I'm doing so much better. I could barely fucking walk. I could barely get off the fucking couch. It was amazing how much it hurt. And I had to be like, just stand up, Noelle, just stand up.
No.
And
How'd you do it?
I'm not sure. I think some of it might have been physical and some of it might have been emotional. So I wrote to my back. I have been talking to her. I've been doing all kinds of stuff too. Yeah, it's been good because I need to do more self-care in that kind of way. So, and I go back to the chiro tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for asking. So yeah, I might have been Saturday night and wow. Yeah, I've, been in pain like that before where it was hard to walk. One time I was so hunched over, it was like funny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I back pain is not, and I now know when I'm getting close. Like I get like I'm gonna reevaluate what's going on, gonna look at
Nice.
emotional stuff, gonna look at how much I'm worried about my finances, gonna look at what is going on. Are you simply overdoing it with teal? All of that stuff. But yeah, I'm so careful with it. Hold on. I realize that this is there. Now I get to look at you instead over here. Yeah. So
Yeah.
good. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah. And I always remember the Louise Hay thing about your lower back, the
Yep,
fear of not being able
exactly.
to support yourself. And yeah, it was interesting just to like a little bit of a rabbit hole. But there are times when I think about this college boyfriend that I've mentioned to you before. And I don't know why, but I just do. And I think like when we're doing something, Grant and I'm like, I wonder if I was married to so and how would this be handled? Would he have just had the money, just pay somebody, or would we be working on? And then I can hear myself saying, talking to our children, and I have a lot of, and yeah, and that happened while we were installing we're putting our house back together very slowly, but anyway, we're putting the microwave up. Yeah, no, it's moving forward, so I'm grateful for that. Anyway, I think it was related to that. And it was nice to just sit and journal about it like the next day. Or I don't think I did it that night, but I was telling Grant, what happened like, why did that even happen? And I know he doesn't love to hear about this, but I'm being very honest with him and he wants that no matter what. So I was sharing it and he's, oh, this guy again kind of thing. And I'm like, look, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not doing it deliberately. It feels so unfinished. And I know it's weird that it feels so unfinished in that kind of way because he doesn't have this with anybody from his past. But anyway,
Neither.
it doesn't matter. But
Well, it does because it's hard. Like even me to be like, "Oh, I don't know why this guy keeps popping up in your world, and you've been married for how long? I can feel like, I don't.
no, I get that.
Why is he so important? I don't have anybody in my life. I wonder about people, but I don't have dialogues with them about a future. And maybe it actually is happening. Noelle, have you thought about that? Like parallel universes? Maybe it actually is happening and that you're getting glimpses of it, and that's what's popping. And that just came into my head like, oh my God, hold on. That makes sense to me. That's easier for me to comprehend than him just popping into your world. I don't know. This makes more sense.
That does make sense. That has never occurred to me. I haven't gone back and revisited this old version of myself
in a past.
that was very attached to marrying him in our next life together. I get this flash of kind of like Little House on the Prairie scenario. And imagine me as I'm 14 and I'm in the general store.
With braids.
Actually, I think I did have
Sorry,
braids.
with braids.
I had long brown hair and my teeth were kind of not nice. I was kind of self-conscious, as you can relate. I was self-conscious about smiling. Yes.
Yeah.
He was about a year older than me, and he's in the store. He's standing next to me, and he's trying to like make me smile and laugh because he likes making me laugh. And I know he's interested. I feel that, but I'm super clear. And this might have been in my between lives thing. And I'm like, you don't get it. My choice has already been made. I was committed to taking care of my family. I had the bedridden mother, whether it was emotional or physical, I'm not clear. I had a very stoic-ish father who worked all the time, and I had at least one younger sibling.
This is in the House on the Prairie thing, or okay. So you decided not to be with him in that life.
Yeah. I didn't feel like I had the ability to choose taking care of both, having my own family and taking care of the family I was born into. And I was clear that my little brother needed to be taken care of. I think I had another sibling also who might have been older, but I was the caretaker of the family. I saw a few glimpses. Like everybody else got married, had children, and I was the caretaker of the children, but I loved it. Like I enjoyed it. Like I saw us all kind of square dancing. I was having fun and I saw
Yeah.
myself at the end of my life. And I don't know, my nephew or whoever it was, they had children and I was surrounded by love. I didn't really feel regret, but I was very clear next time. And that's, I think, part of the energy of this. And I have to go back to her again and be like, look, Emily, or whatever your name is, all right already. Also, in this life, I think I have him who comes from a very close family. I have him collapsed with having had like a satisfying life. Had he and I gotten together, we would have maybe gotten married, had kids. The only thing I knew I wanted as an adult was to have children. I know it's an overcompensation for my own childhood, but I think I have it very collapsed with him in particular. So that's, I think, a big part of it.
What if you could look into that parallel lives thing too? That really, and not saying that your next life won't have him in it. I don't think anything's linear, so it might feel like a next life for you, but it's happening all at the same time. But next life for you is
Wow.
that, but it's happening now.
And when I tell my husband, oh, I was thinking I was doing that sliding doors thing again. And he said something, and I know my ego felt a little kicked up after. Where can I zing him now? But he was basically saying, look, I don't have somebody that I have been hanging on to the idea of and then withholding love and affection from you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think he's right?
Yeah. I can't argue with that. I'd love to. Like to be like, oh yeah, motherfucker. I remember, but not in that kind of way. And I didn't think of it that way.
That's so interesting because you went down of course you have someone else that you think about. And I went down do you think he's right about you withholding love?
Oh, I think that I want to say it's coming to me like on a cellular level. I think I like should have married this other guy. Should have. Not that it was being offered, not that we were even in a regular relationship. We were in college and then even after college, I remember him calling me at my job after I graduated. He's come hang out with me. And I'm like, no, I had lost trust in him and I was done with that. He was a wild person, impulsive. Anyway, a lot of people marry the people that they meet in college. And so it's easy to have this little bit of a storybook life. Oh, we dated, we got married. I loved his
It would have
family.
been perfect. Yeah. And that's very easy. It hit me when you said that. Would he be with you through everything that you've been going through, or you have had gone through to get to here, and then all of this physical psychic development? Would he have stayed through all of that? I look at that and say maybe that's why you didn't choose him, because Greg was the one who is still Grant. I call you
It's okay.
Greg.
You get the
Grant.
G right. You get the
I
G
do
right
every time.
every time.
Every time.
Love
Yeah,
you.
I wonder
Yeah.
if maybe that's why you needed to make that choice. And I think there's choices that we make for crazy passionate relationship, really intense, like fireworks and flares and all of that. And those, do they fizzle out? I don't know. Are those the people that are still having sex in their 80s because they've always had that physical spark and that chemistry? Or do you choose friendship and caring and realizing that, and this is really good for me to process through, do I or did I choose someone that I knew I would sit across the table with and talk with, even though, yes, he's pissing me off right now. I adore him, and I do. I actually do adore him. I'm a fucker.
Of course you do.
I'm a fucker though. But I know that we'll still be sitting across the table in Paris when we're 70. Actually, 70 is not that far away. 85. Let's be real, holding each other's hands and people watching and be like, what do you think their story is? Oh, are we so glad that we bought that house in the south of France? Or where do you want to go next? I just know that. So did I choose crazy, hot, passionate, long orgasm sex? No, I didn't. And I know that. And I know that I chose a life partner that would hold my hand and be my friend through everything. And raising a child with disabilities. Are you kidding me? That is not easy. We have to give ourselves grace when it comes to the choices that we make, because in whatever life we're in, right? In whatever circle, if you're not watching this visual, you have no idea what's going on with these past life things or these hands that are moving side by side. But that we don't know what we're supposed to be choosing and when, and we just have to go with what is feels right.
I agree with you completely. And maybe that wasn't a conscious choice on your part. It felt right. I have given this a lot of thought because this person takes up a lot of mental real estate for me. And even like recently, we reconnected. Oh, just through like texting and stuff, because a relative of his died. I did some mediumship session anyway. And then he just stopped like responding. We were supposed to have some conversation. And I feel good that the teenage part of me that would have been like, oh my God, like I wasn't actually that anymore. I really was clear finally that I really just wanted a connection because of his energy. He's fun and funny and spontaneous and totally out there and impulsive, and but somebody that I always have felt like even if we didn't connect for years, I he sends a text and I like hear it in his voice and I can get the sense of his vibe. And anyway, and he just stopped. And so I realized, okay, so this is a clear message of the priority that I am not in
Hmm.
his life, that he's not responding to anything. And it was good for me to really sit with that because I don't know who he's grown into, but I knew him back in the day. And it's probably lots of seeds have germinated of his personality and the way that he lives his life. And first of all, there's a lot of reenactment going on with him. So in some ways, he was quite unavailable out there and wild, very much the opposite of me, certainly as a teenager who was very full of fear and shy and nervous. He was fascinating in that kind of way. And in the way that he was a dick to people, in emotionally obtuse and unavailable kind of way. That was such a reenactment for me because that was my father that I grew up with. And what for years when I worked with kids, he was the reenactment example I used to use. Emotionally unavailable, not easy to be close to.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a great example of all those things. And when I've thought about the unconscious choice of choosing Grant,
Or
you know,
Greg.
or Greg, however you
Or
want to
Greg. Yeah,
talk about.
whoever. Whichever
So
one you chose.
choosing Greg was that he is a man who so lives his life with integrity, ridiculously, even. He's like the opposite. He's genuinely, in so many ways, the opposite. And so I think that was part of my choice. My impression is when we're in spirit, before we come back down, I think we choose those hard lessons. We are all so influenced by the people that we partner with. There's costs and benefits to being in every relationship. I think that I chose the integrity and to clean things up, balancing my karma. I chose the right partner for that. I really did. I'm grateful for, yes, these thoughts have swirled around and they still do. And I'm still like, do I have nothing else or better to think about right now than that's been happening lately? But it helps me appreciate my husband even more. When I'm talking about being with this guy, it's lifestyle stuff. Not that I have sexual fantasies about this guy, because I really don't. Lifestyle stuff. I look at it like sliding doors, like that movie with Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, I would have had kids. I didn't have kids in this life. And that has been a really sore subject for me for a very long time. Or even a close family that, or the family that lives close by that I want to spend time with. And or still living in New Jersey with all of the friends that I had from school, just a totally different kind of life. And who the fuck knows? You're right. Spending too much time in that does take away. And it's good to look at, why do I spend that time? I'm not as clear about that now because I feel like I've pulled off a couple of the layers of the fantasy.
Yeah, opening the onion, you're all, oh, wow, that onion smells.
Ooh.
Ooh,
And I would have stunk right along with it.
And that onion makes me cry. I do believe it is incredibly therapeutic and honest for everyone to simply say, who is that person in your life that you just wonder about it?
And I want to put this out to anybody else who has in the back of their mind this past person that they still have whatever kind of longing, even if it's completely ridiculous. You may have sexual energy tied up into the fantasy of what that life could have been. I feel like the more I'm letting go of that, the more present I'm able to be with myself and my sexuality.
I wonder how my life would be different. I did think about that the other day. There's two guys, I guess. I wonder how that life would have played out. One, I know that I would have been completely horrified and miserable, and that would have ended in divorce. He was the nicest guy in the entire world, but I would have been miserable. He wanted to be a football coach and a history teacher in Iowa. I dated him for 2 years in college. Like, I love that man. It was the hardest thing to break his heart. I remember walking out of the house after breaking up with him, and I fell over in the parking lot. I was sobbing so hard. That's how hard that decision was for me. Wow. But I knew, I had clear cognizance for sure that I was going to do different things with my life, not necessarily more or better. I used to think, oh, I would have a better life. I said, no, I'm just going to do different things with my life. And being a housewife, I couldn't. I mean, sure, I might have become a college professor. Yeah, I don't know. I might have done something really different, but wow, different life. Yeah. And then another guy that I dated in California. I was in college. He was from California. Went, oh, I wonder what that life would be like. Because he lives in Southern California. You just wonder. I think that's healthy. But I do want to, I want to make sure that acknowledging it is healthy. Living there for too long or fantasizing too long in there, that does distract from being in the present and being grateful for what you do have and the incredible existence that you created today.
Absolutely. And I know we've talked a bit about fantasy in the past. It's all fantasy.
There's a lot of different ways of looking at it. I'm glad I have this life.
Thanks for joining us. To access the full interview on video, visit our Vagina Whispering channel on YouTube. If you have a topic you'd like to learn about, or if you have a specialist you'd like us to interview, please email us at vaginawhispering@gmail.com. And on a final note, while Noelle Dean is a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, she does not provide any psychotherapy or other licensed healthcare services as the host. Any action you take based on the information contained herein is strictly at your own risk. Please refer to the podcast disclaimer in the show notes for further information.
I started meditating again. You're going to be so happy, finally. I've got a really fun story about that. I'll share with you in a second. But Insight Timer, I always use it to just time. I don't listen to meditations usually. I like silence because then I really get to know where the hell I am. I'm like, oh my God, I am so not focused today. Today it was like, I could not stay focused for a hot second. And that's okay. It gives me a really good read on where am I. I think sometimes when we go down meditation that you're being led through, it's way easy to avoid your real brain, your real thoughts, your real everything that's going on. So I like the quiet. It's not always a fun meditation, but I do quiet. I don't always get things from it, however. But Insight Timer has this new, what's your intention for the day?
I've seen that, yeah.
I don't know when it popped up. That's how long it's been since I have been meditating. And it's really helped me. I am so silly. I don't usually wake up and set an intention. As spiritual as I am and as crazy woo-woo wacko that I am sometimes, I don't wake up and set an intention. And I've started to. And it has been life affirming, actually. Just really okay. Like my thing today was I'm gonna be more grateful for Alex, which is really funny since I got mad at him downstairs. Yesterday was celebrate the little things, and one of the days before was laugh more. Just I don't know. It's been a life changer for me, life affirming. Really, just you're here to also have an intention for yourself, Jen, not just be here for everybody else. So that was good. But the reason I started meditating again, not the reason, but my birthday's coming up in August, but we were gone for 3 weeks. We did safari for a week, and we did Paris for a week, and we did the south of France for a week. Life is amazing.
Wow.
It was incredible. When we were in Paris, it was our last week, and we had this really beautiful dinner and incredible. And they brought a little birthday thing, and I couldn't think of a wish. I couldn't think of a wish. Everything felt so self-centered. I could think of wishes, but they weren't good enough. I'm turning 50. So it's like, all right, I was like, okay, the book and speaking engagements and all this work stuff or heal. And okay, I wish for her to talk. They just, none of them seemed right. And the candle's burning down. And I started crying. And I said, what are your wishes for me? Around the table. And it was I encourage people to ask that. It could be really, people could be like, oh my God, I'm so egotistical and whatever. I was like, no, I was curious what someone else wished for me from the outside. What do you see and you wish I had more of or less of or whatever? My niece, Payson, said, I know how important meditating is for you. And I really wish that you find more time to meditate this year.
Wow.
Talk about an eye opener from a 19-year-old.
Wow.
And then Candela, our foreign exchange student from 3 years ago, she surprised me in Paris. Oh my God, I started bawling. It was so cute. And that actually reminds me about your kids thing. I had this very maternal feeling. Payson, Candela, and Teal. And I wrapped my arms around them and I said, all my girls are here. But two of them aren't mine. You know, one's
They
a
are,
niece and one, but I was like, my girls are here. My 3 girls are here. I was just bawling. But Candela said to me, I wish for you to be healthy, for you to be healthier, for you to stay healthy this year. And those 2 girls have actually totally shifted how I've approached life since I got home. I'm working out more. I'm meditating. I'm doing these things that because I asked, what is your wish from me for the outside? Yeah.
What a great question. What a great perspective. It's not egotistical. You're like actually asking people who know you, where's the blind spot that you can see? If I address that, it would kind of just amp things up a little bit better for what is important to me. And because these are people who love you, you don't have to give birth to somebody to have them be one of your kids. That's not a requirement.
No.
It's a feeling. Yeah.
There was just a lot. Yeah. I'm getting really big confirmation chills.
Love that. Yeah. And you actually listened. You really took that in. Sometimes it's easy when somebody's young to be like, oh, that's so cute. Anyway, let's talk to the real adults over here.
Let's talk to the 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
No. It was a really, actually, I don't even remember what Alex said. To revisit that. Did you tell me in Paris?
I saw this thing on Instagram. It was this couple in a car, probably around our age, maybe more my age. Anyway, and they're driving and it said something like, we're off to celebrate our like 25th wedding anniversary. We're so happy. Of course, we almost got divorced while packing our luggage. But anyway, I was like,
oh my God, that's so true.
Totally relate to that. Yeah.
That is really funny, but that is so damn true. So excited about this, but we did almost kill each other. I literally told our friends, I was like, if Alex doesn't make it through the night, I was the one who killed him. And then I realized you probably shouldn't say that stuff because if something were to actually happen, that would be really shitty. Yeah. I said that a couple of times. I'm like, if he doesn't make it through the night, probably me.
I used to work with glass, do mosaics and stuff. And there were times when I might have had a bit of a fantasy about a big, sharp piece of glass. And Grant is very sensitive and he would pick up on that. And yeah. That was early on in our marriage. I've outgrown those fantasies.
Someone's going to listen to this and be like, okay, put a 911 out for, or whatever, APB or whatever they call it for those two.
Possibly.
Oh my God,
maybe that's why we're friends, though.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, we don't choose partners because they make us happy constantly. They're often the most triggering, the most annoying at times, and also who you care about the most and your favorite person. And if you keep creating that, I feel like our relationship has been very created and deliberate. It's not, oh, it just unfolded and it was easy. Like, not at all. Next month is our 20th wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Big accomplishment.
Yeah.
I have so much more appreciation for marriage, even if people make it look super easy. People think that we make it look easy because we have fun when other people are around. I'm like, that's because you're there. That's why we're laughing. But anyway, I'm pretty excited, actually. We're doing actually a whole thing. My first development circle I ever went to at a spiritualist church like 28 years ago, the minister, her name is Margot, led that group that I used to go to every Friday for a couple of years. She was the only person I could think of that I would want to marry us. We hadn't really stayed close. And then a couple of years ago, I was tracking her down, like, oh, I want to see what she's up to. I really miss that development circle thing she used to do. And I reached out to somebody and they never helped me get in touch with her. I was hoping she was still alive. I had an old email that I wrote to her a couple times, never heard back. I didn't know if it was still current. And last year, I was way more determined because I was going to start a development circle. So I just tracked her down. I looked her up again. I found this place she's associated with, and I called or emailed or both. And finally, they helped me get in touch with her. It was a lot of work, but now we're very close. I talk to her probably every week. I go to her group. I just love this woman, and so does Grant. She's going to come to our house and do some kind of ceremonial something. We wrote our vows the first time. I think we're going to write slightly different vows.
Yeah.
And she's going to do whatever process she's going to do and have our ancestors there with us. It's just going to be the three of us. I think it's going to be really sweet. I debated about a party, but we're keeping it very simple.
Oh, that's really exciting. When is that?
September
Next month?
24th.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I think we've maybe talked about this, that when I talk to young people who are getting married, I'll say, or thinking about getting engaged or whatever, and I'll say that it's easy to love someone, it's hard to like them. Saying you love someone, I think, is easy. Saying that you really like them and want them to be your friend for life, it's a big deal. No matter how much we want to shove glass into our partners or whatever.
What are you talking about?
I wouldn't give up that he's the father to my child, that he is the one that I wake up with, and he's the one who still thinks I'm really sexy, even with my braces. Still struggling with them. Next month, I get my lower ones on. Oh, get prepared.
Oh,
yeah,
honey.
super exciting. Only 9 more months, probably.
You're moving along. So is this 3 months now with the tops? Okay. So you're like a quarter of the way there now?
He's very happy. He's like, wow, your teeth are moving. I'm like, yes, they are.
Okay. Good job.
Come on, teeth. Come on. They're never, like, when even they go to put in the new, I'm like, she's like, you're still sore? I'm like, oh yeah. So I think they are just constantly moving for me now because they're all, we're on a mission.
I'm getting like a go team in my head.
Good job, peeps. Keep them moving.
Aw.
Yeah. But they don't hurt. They're all, okay, we're going to put these on and we're probably going to take some ibuprofen. I'm all, it don't hurt that bad. My God, I've had pain. No, this is more of that pain that you encourage. Is that strange?
That is strange, Jennifer.
Like an 8. I know. I have a spot in my mouth that every now and then that gets sore. Not anymore because I can't get there. Because I would sometimes activate it because it's definitely an indicator of me being on the spectrum. I'll pick until it hurts and then I just keep doing it because I like the pain. Very strange. I'm giving you a lot more information. You're all, wow, Jen, you are weird. We are really going there today.
I'm taking notes over here. The therapist is in. Please keep
talking about your weird tendencies, those tics. But yeah, so it's like that. You have to know what I'm talking about. Like every now and then, isn't there just like just hurts so good? Is that weird? You don't have that. Okay, well, I can tell by your face.
I don't think it's weird. I'm sitting with how you describe it. And I wonder if some of it might be that when we have pain or discomfort, sometimes it can also be, wow, I'm in a body. Holy shit, I can really feel the body. Maybe that's it, is that you really feel something, like when you feel hunger.
That is a really great point. I have trouble grounding, as do you. We like being up here. I
Yeah.
love being in my fifth, sixth, and seventh chakras, and let's go higher. I love it. It's super fun. Why ground? Why bring me back down here? That's probably one of the main reasons why I tend to do it. I never thought of it that way. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's part of why I'll eat more than I really need, and it makes me feel full. I feel this sensation in my body, and I think it helps me feel grounded. I have a friend of mine who will say, if you're feeling ungrounded after like mediumship or that kind of thing, eat something. I just need to ground more if that's what I really need. But it
Sure.
doesn't sound that weird. It sounds like it serves a real purpose. There are tics that people have, and whether you're on
Mm,
the spectrum, tics can be self-soothing, and we can all have little strands of spectrumy behavior.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it sounds more like.
I like that. Makes me feel a lot better about that.
There you
Well done,
go.
therapist Noelle. Check one off the list. Jen's not freaking out anymore.
Healed.
Healed. So funny. So one other thing, and then I think we should wrap this up, but
Yes.
I guess I wanted to add it to this conversation just because I feel like this is more of a catch up. The 1 year anniversary of my father's passing was the 28th of July. I think. Good God. Yes. And I came down to work. We were back from our travels. Came down to work, and I got a very clear message that I needed to do a shamanic journey to connect with my dad, because that's when he has been showing to me. He's shown up in every journey that I've done since he passed. Now, I've only done 3, I think. However, I got a very clear message that your intention needs to be to go find your dad. And I thought, oh boy, a little scary on that one, because what happens if he doesn't show?
Oh.
And that was, oh, but he's shown, I don't even know why I doubted. And so I wrote my intention. I want to just check in with my dad, see how he's doing up there, what he's up to, if he's got any insight for me or Teal, and whatever. I had the best conversation with him. I actually recorded it, and it's on my For Special Kids podcast right now, because that's what I just was like. And I said on the intro to the podcast, I'm like, this is just selfish. This isn't about kids with disabilities. I'm just going to share with you what I learned from my dad today. But it was an incredible opportunity. And I know this is way out there, but if anyone is missing a loved one deeply, never underestimate the power of your own connection and your own ability to talk with that individual and get wisdom and just check in with them. I literally was like, how you doing? So what's going on up here? And he told me some things that I've never even heard of, which is really fun about what he's doing up there. Do you want me to share with you?
Yeah, and I'm going to listen. I haven't been listening to any podcasts because I typically do listen to
Fine.
yours, but I'm
I
definitely going to
haven't
listen to
recorded in a
that.
long time, so I was
Okay.
finally back at it. So I won't give you how it all happened because it's in the podcast. However, I said, what's your job up here? And he said, I'm a wise one. And I laughed because I was like, that is not anything that he would have ever said down on earth, ever. Then he says to me, because I was like, tell me what that means. He said, basically, I help people with their prayer. When someone prays, I help them maybe structure their prayer right or differently, because so many people pray wrong. And then he said, not that there's a right or wrong way. It's just people sometimes don't ask for what they're really needing to ask for. And then he said, and then I connect with, this is where the irony is not lost on me. He says, I connect with universal knowledge and I transmit their answer. I send the answer to the individual who's praying. So he's a channel. So he's a medium.
Wow.
Which is really funny. Like, it's not lost on me. And so I definitely dive into that in the podcast. It's only like 13 minutes. It's a really short little podcast, but I literally all, you've got to be kidding me. Like, you doubted everything about me, every step of the way. And now that's actually what you do up here. But I thought that was a fun,
Heck
just a little
yeah.
something to share. So yeah, it was funny. I'm a wise one. Yeah.
Excuse me, what
I was like, what? It was hilarious. And yeah, and then we had a really good conversation about what his role in his world was down here on Earth for me, and how it was actually really hard for him doubting everything about me, because he knew like his role was not that up there on the other side. So it was fun.
Oh, wow. I love that. Yeah, I've
Not
been meaning we
sex-based
should...
at all.
Sorry?
Not sex-based at all, thank God. Saying vagina whispering, we're supposed to talk a little bit more about sexual stuff and our bodies and whatever. I'm like, no, not today. No. Wow, it's so good to see you again, and I'm glad we did this, because
I'm so glad we did this. And to our listener, thank you for sticking by us. Jen and I have hectic schedules, certainly, or anyway. So when the Spirit moves us, we're recording, and hopefully when the Spirit moves you, you're listening. And we're thinking of you with love, which is why we're sharing stuff about our lives. Otherwise, we would never hit record. We love you. We care about you. We never want you to feel alone. And if you've got some cool oil, beauty, secret thing that you're doing, feel free to share with us. You can reach us at vaginawhispering@gmail.com. I have not yet started sharing stuff on Vagina Whispering on Instagram, but not a page, but whatever. You're listening to us, so maybe that's the important part. And anyway, so we will connect with you next time, and thank you for being here with us, and we love you.
You love me too. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for joining us. To access the full unedited interview on video, visit our Vagina Whispering channel on YouTube. If you have a topic you'd like to learn about, or if you have a specialist you'd like us to interview, please email us at vaginawhispering@gmail.com. And on a final note, while Noelle Dean is a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, she does not provide any psychotherapy or other licensed healthcare services as the host. Any action you take based on the information contained herein is strictly at your own risk. Please refer to the podcast disclaimer in the show notes for further information.